In this video, I'm going to be showing you my top 22 PVE based locations for the Ragnarok map for Ark Survival Ascended. This video is organized into chapters starting with island locations, moving on to canyon locations, then plateau locations, and finally ending with all the awesome caves on Ragnarok. So let's get into it. The first location is a new one for Ark Survival Ascended, and it is this herbivore island that is in the northeast of the map. You have an extremely large flat island all to yourself, and if you like building big bases or have a large number of tribe members, this could be the perfect spot to build your base. The island itself doesn't have a lot of resources, but in the mountains in the nearby there are crystal and metal nodes up top. Standing in the middle of the island, my coordinates are 8.6 and 96.3. Another new base location for the Ragnarok map is this large island here that's part of the Highlands now. You can see it is incredibly flat and has a huge area if you want to build an amazing castle. For resources, you have large beaver dam spawns nearby, and the mountains up the back have loads of metal spawns at the top. My favorite spot on the map is this little peninsula location here. The coordinates of where I'm standing are 17.9 and 88.2. The next base location is located on the new jungle island that is behind the swamp on the east side of the Ragnarok map. This whole island is amazing looking and there's lots of flat spots you could easily build a base, but my favorite spot is this spot here. You have two plateaus, one down the bottom, one up the top with a waterfall. The tops of the local mountains have metal spawns as well as crystal. This is the location of the island on the map and the latitude is 48.4 and 12.3. The next base location I want to recommend is another island cluster on the east side of the map. This one got a real glow up with Ark Survival Ascended and it has everything that you need. Lots of resources like obsidian, and there's a good chunk of rich metal nodes right here. This is definitely a base for someone who likes to do ocean exploration in the game because the little lagoon that is in the middle, if you dive right into it, is incredibly deep. There's a few mantis spawns in here, but you could easily raise an army of squids. This is the island here on the map and the coordinates where I'm standing are 63.9 and 16.6. Just a short boat ride away from the last location, you'll find another island that is an amazing build location. It has some pre-made ruins that you could easily rebuild and make into an amazing base. And it has some pre-built docks that you could easily wall off for water pens for your water creatures. There's an archway where you could build a dino pen for your breeding dinos, but you may want to keep that spot clear because there's quite a few metal nodes in that area. Standing in the ruins here, the location is 68.3 and 16.4. The next amazing island location is this lighthouse island. This area here is quite flat. The favorite thing I have about this island is this cool little tunnel here that leads all the way down to this underwater cave where you could have your water dinos, breed some up right here. It's a really cool feature. But my favorite spot to build is probably this terrace area. The location here is 57.9 and 21.2. The next location is a new island that is made for Ragnarok Ark Survival Ascended. I really love this location. I think it's really cool. It's got amazing resources and a couple of really good spots to build a base. The first one is this plateau here. You can incorporate these ruins into your build, but you can see it's a nice big flat area. The next spot is under this overhang. You've got this beautiful turquoise water. You could have some water pen for your dinos and a nice flat spot to build here. There's a cave inside the island that has carcinos and polymer plants, as well as loads and loads of crystal and metal. The coordinates for the ruin spot are 95.8 and 54.9. The next two base locations are on the new Redwoods Island that is on the east side of the map. On the south side of the island, you have this cool little peninsula that sticks out. It's super flat. You've got easy access to a little cove where you can build a water pen. It's super flat for building. As far as resources, on the top of this island, there are metal and crystal spawns. And far off in the mountains there, you have some of the richest metal spawns on the map. You're also very close to the desert for all the oil that you'll need and also the red desert loot drops. The coordinates for this spot are 51.2 and 95.5. On the north side of the same island, you have this really large flat beach spot. This would be a really great location for a tribe that likes to build huge buildings. You could incorporate the castle on the other side, but I think if you want to build a custom base with lots of room for dinos, again for resources you have metal and crystal at the top of this mountain. The coordinates for this spot are 37.7 and 90.4. This location in the canyon is absolutely stunning. When I saw it, I thought it was an absolutely perfect base location. You have really large flat areas here. You have two waterfalls going off either side and really nice flat plateaus in there as well. The lake is shallow enough for just a couple of your water teams, not the big ones. In the lake you have your own silica pearl spawn for easy electronics. You can see at the back of the lake and the side here there are metal nodes as well. If you're looking for a really large spot, you could extend the base down to these pillars here as well. It's also a really central location on the map with a latitude of 36 and a longitude of 50.1. The next location I recommend is this top pillar on the western side of the Great Canyon. It's got a really flat spot up the top with some water so you don't have to tank water very far to get here. There's lots of resources nearby and it is absolutely very flat. The coordinates are 41.7 and 28.9. The next base location is this flat part that is off the central water pillar in the canyon. You can see here that the ground is incredibly flat and you have a cool pool where you can easily access water. It's up off the ground so you're safe from a lot of the threats from below. There's a small land bridge you can cross for easy access to metal. The main tall pillar column in this area actually has a really deep water pool in it. If you look inside, you have easy access to crystal nodes in here, and you can see how deep the water is. In fact, you could probably breed Tusos in here. The water is so deep. The coordinates for this spot are 39.7 and 44.9. The next location is this castle pillar that is to the north of the land bridge that crosses the canyon. I think this is a great location for a small tribe or solo player. It's got a lot of features about it that I really like. The top has a really nice flat area where you could build a really cute house. From there, if you head down these stairs, you'll enter another flat pillar area. You could have some building here, or maybe some breeding facilities for your creatures. There's a water well, so you don't have to tank any water up here. You can follow this turret all the way down to the bottom where there's more flat locations. You could probably put a greenhouse or crops down here. When standing at the top of the ruins, my coordinates are 37.1 and 38.1. The next location is located in the desert. If you want to live out your desert princess fantasies, this is an amazing base location. Or if you're not a strong arc builder, you could easily use this base, wall off a few things and have an instant base. And it is so big, there's a lot of space for a large tribe here. Being so close to the desert, you can easily do the red desert loot drops over and over again. And the mountains just across the other side of the water are filled with metal nodes and crystal as well. This is my location on the map and the coordinates are 71.2 and 68.6. The next location is this flat plateau here. This one is a really pretty spot, but I think I kind of like it because it's the best of all worlds. You can see to the north side we have some snow, to the south of us is the desert. I think this is a great location because it's pretty flat and you're actually very close to loads of resources. Just down the way you have the crystal cave for all your resources and the desert with all the loot drops. And in the mountains just here, there's some of the richest metal spots in the whole map. You can see here that we're in a really central location on the map and the coordinates are 54.6 and 55.2. The next location is Viking Bay. A lot of people will tell you to build on the land bridge here. I think there are better spots in this bay that you can build a cool base in. And if I was going to build here, I would build my house on this nice flat plateau above the bay. From that, I would extend my base down and build into the rib cage here and use that to store my dinos and breeding creatures. It's a natural fence and you could incorporate it into a really neat looking base. The coordinates of this spot are 20.2 and 31.2. If you want to build a large base in a flat spot, I highly recommend this plain that's near the Viking Bay Castle. There's a small water pool here now, so you don't have to tank water too far. If you want to get some resources, you'll have to fly up to the mountain top in the distance there. You'll find lots of rich metal nodes up there. You also have the swamp and large beaver spawns nearby. Standing in the middle of the plateau, my coordinates are 19.1 and 41.8. Again, if you're looking for a large flat area near Viking Bay, This is a great little plateau here that is located very close to the Viking Bay Castle. It's located near the giant beaver dams. You'll have to head up to the nearby mountains to gather metal, but there is some nearby. The coordinates of where I'm located are 23.8 and 41.5. The next location is a classic Ragnarok cave that's located in Viking Bay. It's got a rib cage for an entrance and the majority of the cave is hidden behind a waterfall. Once you're in the cave, I highly recommend putting your buildings on the upper level here. I would put my main foundations up on this level here. That's because lower down in the cave you have a lot of rich resources, these metal nodes here and polymer plants. You don't want to build your foundations too close to them to stop them spawning, because you can just go and farm like crazy in your own base. The coordinates of the entrance here are 22.7 and 30.9. The next location is a classic Ragnarok cave, but it's definitely one of my favorite places and one of the first places I ever built on Ragnarok and Ark Survival Evolved. And that is the Pirates Cove cave. You have a lot of area to build in here. You have amazing resources. There's black pearl, there's metal nodes, and there's plenty of space to breed water creatures if you love the ocean. There are 3 different entrances that are all connected by winding pathways. There's an entrance from a jungle, and this is located at 20.4 and 24. There is also a water entrance, and the coordinates of this one are 19.1 and 23. And you can enter from the waterfall above. The coordinates here 21.7 and 24.7. The next location is another classic Ragnarok cave. There are so many of them. Is this triple waterfall cave. When facing the falls, if you head into the leftmost waterfall, just through here, you'll find the entrance to a secret cave. The coordinates where I am right now are 27.9 and 47.5. Inside you'll find an amazing flat spot to build on with a cave that has everything that you need. There's some obsidian rocks in the water, and up on a ledge you have rich metal and crystal spawns. There's another entrance which is located in the middle waterfall here. The coordinates here are 27.4 and 47.8. Another popular location is Mushroom Cave, which is a water-based entrance, so you need to be later in game if you want to build here. The coordinates for the entrance are 10.2 and 23.5. Once inside, you'll find a really flat area to build in that is packed with resources such as crystal, metal, rare flower, polymer plants. One thing you will have to contend with is that there is a regular Karkino spawn here, so you will want to have defenses set up for that. The next location is an amazing location, and I think it's even better with the addition of the water pool out the front. Hidden behind the waterfall, you'll find a really flat, grounded, amazing cave that's filled with resources. You can see there's lots of rich metal nodes in here, and it even has its own water area inside. The water area is again packed full with rich metal nodes. This is the perfect cave for a lazy builder because all you need is really a large behemoth gate to wall off the waterfall, and you've got loads of resources inside. The location for the entrance is 18.2 and 78.8. Another very popular cave location is this one here in the Highlands. If you like water breeding, this one is for you. Inside you won't see a lot of land to build upon, but there's a deep pool that you can easily use for water breeding. There are metal nodes under the water and polymer and trees below. Most people that do build in here set up cliff platforms for their actual base. The coordinates for the entrance are 22.9 and 86.4. My name is Krabbytron and I make accurate, concise guides for Ark Survival Ascended. If you like those, subscribe for more, or you can click on this one right here.